Hi, I'm Lauren Bono with SAPinsider here at the GRC conference in Vegas, and I'm here with Susan Stapleton of Greenlight. She is the Vice President of Customer Advisory. Thank you so much for joining me, Susan.
Thanks, Lauren. Glad to be here.
Great. So one of your sessions that you're presenting here is, taking the last mile of SOD management. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What I'm kind of curious about is if it's the last mile, kind of what's before that? So what leads up to that last mile?
So here at the conference, there are many longtime GRC customers, and they have done a tremendous amount of work with their GRC programs. They have identified their risks. They have remediated those risks. They have removed access wherever they can, and they are left with user risks that now need to be monitored or managed. And the last mile of that is many customers either don't have controls or they have very manual controls. And what we're doing by saying the last mile is picking up where those customers are mostly today and providing a fully automated into that process by saying these are the users that have risk. Now let us automate the monitoring of what they're doing. So we're removing that manual process and providing true exception-based reporting of user risks that can be documented, closed, and kind of providing the end of the audit trail from SOD identification to remediation and now management of the SODs that remain.
And so Greenlight has a solution called SAP Access Violation. Can you explain to me how that solution kind of takes companies through that last mile?
So typical of all SAP products, we have our own acronym, Access Violation Management, or AVM, okay, which I'll start using. And what we do is just pick up where all access control customers leave off, and that is of the users who are known with risks. We are monitoring 100% of the transactions those users are performing in ERP or any other business application. It does not have to be just SAP. Many SAP customers are moving to cloud-based solutions like Ariba, Concur, SuccessFactors. We have the ability to look at business transactions that are happening in all of those applications and correlating them back and pushing out the risky events that business managers or owners need to review to ensure that inappropriate or fraudulent activity isn't happening. But better yet, just to have a very comprehensive detective control that's a sustainable process that is easy for the business to manage and can remove or eliminate the amount of time and resources required by up to 98% of managing SOD risks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So as these customers are, improving their SOD management and implementing solutions like AVM, what advice kind of do you give them to help them along their journey?
So we have a lot of different maturity levels of these customers. Some of them have very comprehensive manual controls in place. Some of them have somewhat semi-automated controls in place. Some of them have no controls in place. And my advice is going to be based on where are they in that maturity model. Mm-hmm. So customers who have a pretty comprehensive but manual process, we just switch that over to automation and can remove a lot of the resources required to manage a manual process. For those that have semi-automated controls, again, go ahead and automate the ones that they are very familiar with, and then as they have additional risk, bring those on. It's a product that is easy to pilot, learn lessons during your initial implementation, then start bringing in more controls, more business systems, other areas of risk that need to be managed. And those users or companies that have no controls today, I say, start slowly. It's not only the control process, it's getting the business users to understand their responsibility to manage what users are doing in their business applications that those business users own. And that could be a big change control process. It's not just software. It's also responsibility and accountability and ownership by the business of managing user risks, which they may have never done before. Mm-hmm. So picking a champion, picking finance, starting in a group that they know there's a need for better controls, and start your automated process there. And many of our customers will have other business owners saying, I want to go next. Mm-hmm. You're making that process much easier. I need to jump on board and I want to go go next.
Okay, great. And so it sounds like you have customers kind of across the gamut in different stages. You want to maybe share some nice examples of some customers that have been succeeding with the Greenlight
So we have customers we've implemented on all spectrums of that maturity model. We have customers that have implemented that have had zero controls in place, but maybe they have had a material weakness on their audit, or even finance is saying we have to put a process in place to manage this better. And we have customers who have the best of breed management of SODs, completely manual, and we've converted those over. So we have companies that have, I said, taken this process from five weeks to about 1.2 days end to end to finish this process, reducing the amount of data by 95 to 98% on average of what the business has to look at. Tomorrow on my panel, I'm going to have Kiewit, a privately held company that has some risk in their procurement area. I have National Grid, which is a utility, and they have automated several controls. And the goal there was to move from a quarterly process to a weekly. So just reducing the amount of time that potential activity that might be inappropriate is taking place by automating that process. And then I have another customer who's been live for 2 years, has 106 controls automated, and is bringing on a new company. So, it just shows the beginning with a smaller privately held company to a large public company that's growing through acquisitions and needs to have a sustainable process no matter what happens in their business environment. So, yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be an interesting panel.
It will be an interesting panel, and we have a lot of prospective customers here, and I think it'll be really good to hear real customers speak about how they implemented, what lessons they learned, the benefits that they gained. And that's the beauty of the GRC conference, hearing from other customers what they've already learned and benefiting from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I have one more question. So is there a sense of urgency of why customers should kind of act now, to kind of measure their risk? And
That's a very good question. So we talk about that quite a lot. That is there some compelling event of why I need to do this right now? And unfortunately, sometimes the compelling event is a material weakness from audit saying you do not have good controls around finance or around user risks. So that's one compelling event. Another thing that's happened recently is that the chief accountant from the SEC said, now more than ever, internal controls are being looked at, and your auditors are going to be focusing on this more and more. And just in the news in the last couple of months, there have been companies like Lockheed Martin, eBay, with material weaknesses around specifically user risks, and that can reduce a stock price by as much as 18% overnight. So CFOs are concerned about this, and I think you want to get in front of it before you have that event that really has a major impact on your business. And I think in the past, there's been so many things going on around risks in general and managing risks that SODs and user access risk have taken a little bit of a backseat, but that's now coming up. And I think auditors are expecting organizations to have a very comprehensive process around it, and that's where we fit in.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me, Susan. I appreciate it. And good luck on your panel today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much. Always enjoy Vegas, and look forward to the panel. Thank you.
Yep.